Yes, hello, Mr. Pet. That's Lee Anderson again. There's a couple of issues, really. The first one is why your company never acknowledges a correspondence to me within 2 working days, as you say you will. I have sent numerous correspondence to you, and not once have I had an acknowledgement within 2 working days.
I'm sorry about that. When we first get a complaint, we're asked to register within 2 working days. In terms of other correspondence, I'm going to get back to you as soon as possible.
Right. Have you had a chance to read the latest email I sent you last week?
I have, yes, yeah.
And there will be a response to that letter, will there?
No, that doesn't change the position, no.
What do you mean it doesn't?
Well, in terms of the email, yes, sorry. There is a second stage of our complaints process, so I've asked for it to be escalated to the second stage of the complaints process.
Right. Do you know who Adelphi House is?
Adelphi?
Yeah.
That is, I know it's a building in London that is occupied by, I think, the Department for Work and Pensions have some presence in there.
Yes, it's the Freedom of Information Request Office for the DWP.
Right.
I've put a few requests into them. They tell me that Atos Healthcare has a responsibility to identify potentially exempt customers before they issue an IB50. This goes back to a good few months ago when no IB113 was ever sent to my GP. You did not follow your own procedure to try and identify that I was exempt. So you sent an IB50, which I did not fill in. A few months after the IB50 asked me to attend a medical with yourselves. I did not attend that medical. Then about a month after that, you then sent my GP the IB113. So I was wondering if you could explain why you conducted a PCA on me, then sent my GP the IB113. When the IB113 should have been the first thing you sent my doctor.
I don't believe that's part of the GP process now.
I've got the request on my computer from my Adelphi House, which quite clearly states it is your responsibility to identify customers who may be exempt.
Yes, but I believe that there's no provision for sending a 113 before we send out the questionnaire.
Well, that doesn't make sense, because why would you send a questionnaire to somebody if that person was exempt from the PCA? You have no right to do that if that person is exempt from that procedure.
Because we wouldn't know whether the person is exempt necessarily until we got back further evidence.
Well, yes, you would know, because it's
information from the customer.
No, that's not the way it works, and I've got this clarified to me from Adelphi House.
I can't comment on something I've not seen, Mr. Anderson.
If a claimant, this is the law. Now you can check this up yourself. This is the law, and there's no arguments with the law, because the law dictates to you. You do not dictate the law. The law quite clearly states if somebody is in an exempt category, then that person is exempt from the PCA. Now, for you to find out if somebody is exempt from the PCA, you send their GP an IB113 before you issue any questionnaires or ask that person to attend a medical. Now, that is the law, and that is fact.
Well, I'm happy to look at those issues. My understanding is that process has changed.
Well, I only made the Freedom of Information request last week, and Adelphi House have responded to my request, and they have told. Well, I'll send you a copy of their email, what they sent to me, which quite clearly states every effort is made to identify potentially exempt customers. Now, I'm already exempt from the PCA. Now, you've just said we don't issue IB113s, But if that's the case, why did you send an IB 113 to my GP last month after you had sent a questionnaire and after I was asked to attend a medical? So you've done it completely back to front. And I have the evidence of that, don't forget, which quite clearly shows you did do what I've just said you have done. You conducted a PCA on me, which I did not attend or take part in. And as I say, you then sent my GP an IB 113 last month, when you sent the questionnaire to me back in July of last year.
Yeah, that's right, we did, but that was after representations made by yourself about being an exempt category, I believe.
Yes, but a court of law already decided I was exempt. The tribunal's decision. One of your own doctors in the past also decided I was exempt from the PCA. This is maladministration on your part. The law quite clearly states that it is your responsibility to identify potentially exempt customers, and the way you do that is by sending an IB 113 to the claimant's GP, which you never did. No, you never did that.
We have done now.
Yes, exactly. You have done now. You did it after you sent the questionnaire and after I was. Yes.
I don't dispute that. That's fine.
Yes.
You sent me the letter that you had from the Delphi. I'll have a look at it.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to get away with it. You've done it the wrong way around. You're supposed to send the IB 113 before you send any questionnaires out.
Well, that's what I understand what you're saying. I need to have a look at their letter, please.
Right, well, I'll send you a copy. And what's happening about these phone calls where blackmail's mentioned? As you're aware, my MP has asked for a copy of these phone calls, so what is going to happen about this?
No, I've not been aware of that.
Pardon?
I've not been aware of that, no.
Well, it quite clearly states on the email I've sent to you, I copy and pasted what my MP secretary said to me. And I was to send copies of the recorded phone calls to my MP. I believe that was the last thing that was wrote on the email. Quite clearly has the MP's address, because I copied and pasted exactly what the MP secretary told me, and that was to send copies of the phone calls to him. He's already asked Chris Grayling, and I'm sure you know who he is, to become involved on this matter. And it will be proved beyond a doubt that you have maladministrated. Beyond a doubt. You do not send an IB 113 after somebody was supposed to attend a medical. An IB 113 is the very first thing you do. Now, I've just been gathering evidence.
Mr. Anderson, if you can send me a copy of the response
I will.
that you've had, more than happy to look at it.
So what's going to happen, like I say, about your colleague accusing me of blackmail? And what's going to happen about him mentioning the X Factor on a separate telephone call about somebody on that show claiming benefits while I had a dodgy arm? And in another phone call, where that same person says he has to end the phone call because he has to get home to attend to his four-legged friend. His exact words. What are you going to do about this?
Well, telephone calls recorded without the permission of the individual, we don't need to take into account as evidence for complaint investigations, Mr. Anderson.
Really, but that phone call is an accurate fact of what happened on the phone call.
You were recording the conversation, did you, before you started?
No, because legally I do not have to.
Legally, we don't have to take it into account, do we?
Do you not? Well, if that's the case, the only way you would take it into account is if my solicitor issued proceedings against you for defamation of character. Right, Mr. Pepper, for the record of the tape, because you're being recorded, I'm going to put this phone call on the internet as well, where you quite clearly state that you do not investigate recorded phone calls as evidence, when it would prove beyond a doubt what your colleague said to me.
Mr. Anderson, you don't have my permission to record the call.
I do not need your permission to record a private phone call. This is fact. You seem to think